Joining us tonight, Congressman Mark Green, member of the House Oversight Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, the House Freedom Caucus. Congressman, good to have you with us. It is an embarrassment. Certainly, I could not imagine being any part of that committee and not being embarrassed that that was the product over the course of 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's insulting. I'll even go so far as to say insulting. I mean, we were asking for $5.7 billion. We got $1.3 billion. It's pretty clear the Dems don't care about border security. I mean, we view it as a crisis. 300 Americans dying every week from heroin overdose, and we know that's coming across the southern border. I mean, they just don't care. It's a humanitarian crisis, and they don't care. For them, it's about 2020 and winning the presidential election.
And if their conduct, their values carry the day in 2020, I can't imagine that this republic would have much of a future. This is utter disdain for the security of the American people, the impact of illegal immigration, the impact, as you reference, of $50 billion in the illicit drug trade every year going into the coffers of the cartels. This is shameless conduct and a shameless response. The president has called the nation to arms to support him as he deals with a national emergency. That emergency doesn't go away whether he declares it's a national emergency, whether the radical left in this country ignores it. It's still there, and the collateral damage is devastating for this country.
It's huge. Yeah, I think of it like, I'm a physician, Lou, and I think of it like an arterial bleed. I mean, you don't fix a scratch on the forehead when you've got an arterial bleed. You put a tourniquet on it and you get it fixed. And that's what's going on at the southern border. And we need a solution. We need it fast. I encourage the president to do whatever he can to get the wall built.
I want to turn to Senator McConnell. The majority leader has had an extraordinary rhetorical journey over the course of the past 2 weeks, warning the president not to declare a national emergency, warning him that the Republican Party might not support him in so many words. And today, this. If we could roll that for the audience, I want to get your comments, Congressman.
Yes, sir.
I think Chairman Shelby and the Democrats on a bipartisan basis have done a good job. From a Republican point of view, there is money in there for new barrier fencing. It's not everything the president hoped to get, but I think it's a good step in the right direction. I hope he'll decide to sign it.
Your thoughts on the Senate Majority Leader and his effusive guidance to the president?
Well, I'm disappointed, obviously. I mean, 55 miles of barrier is not 243 miles of barrier, and Homeland Security, the professionals, came back to the administration and to us and said, we need 243 miles. This is basically stiff-arming Homeland Security and telling them, no, we're going to give you 55. It's unconscionable to me, and I understand. I mean, I've been a state senator before. I'm new in Congress, but I understand that you want to come out of a meeting like that and be excited about it. But the truth of the matter is this is an insult, and it's certainly not going to get us where we need to be on border security.
And as I said, that national crisis will not change, irrespective of whether it's declared to be a national emergency or not.
That's right.
Whether the Democrats continue and frankly, some of the rhino Republicans continue to deny the reality and the pain and the devastating results of addiction, the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans. Dems, the radical Dems and Beto O'Rourke, separated from reality. I mean, this guy O'Rourke is quite a character. A counter rally. He had the grand delusionally decided he could have a counter rally against the president. That didn't work out.
That was a bit of a wake-up call, wasn't it, Lou?
Well, it should have been. It should have been. I'm pretty sure that it won't work. He said last night that El Paso was safe. This is with the DEA talking about it is actually the hub of the drug corridor from Las Cruces, New Mexico to El Paso, Texas to Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, as you know. Here, let's put this up. This is from Judicial Watch. reporting on just how deadly that area is. The DEA declaring it a major hub for opiates and methamphetamines entering the United States. Customs, Border Protection, illegal immigrant arrests up 1,588% from January of last year to January this year. Islamist terrorists smuggled into cartels into the United States near El Paso. And you've got Beto O'Rourke, who can't gather a crowd. He also can't gather his senses enough to understand what's staring he and great Texans in that area straight in the face. Congressman?
Oh, well, Lou, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, I think he had 200 guys show up at his rally, and the president had like 69,000 people apply, and this guy thought he was going to make a statement. He made a statement, and I agree with the president, end of a presidential bid on Mr. O'Rourke's side. You know, El Paso is a dangerous place. Now, it's significantly, from what I understand, it's better than it was 10, 15 years ago before they built the wall. Interestingly enough, when I was an infantry officer, I went down to Fort Bliss, Texas, and did a rotation there. We did some training, and our leadership wouldn't even let us go into parts of El Paso. I mean, we were basically told it's off limits. And then they built a wall, and it is better. So walls work, and it's time to secure the border.
Yeah, El Paso, if we are told by reliable sources, including the reporting, by the way, of Judicial Watch, that the numbers 24, I believe it was 23 murders last year in El Paso against 1,200, more than 1,200 in Juarez. Walls, as you say, do work. But we also know sometimes numbers are doctored, and that's the allegation against the El Paso law enforcement agencies, including the sheriff's office and police department.
Well, when your military leadership won't let a group of soldiers who are pretty well trained go into an area, it's probably not safe.
Yep. Congressman, we appreciate it as always. Good to see you.
Thanks, Lou. Good to see you.